So I think this will be the last episode of this serious prep series, and it's going to be a shorter one because I'm leaving for London very shortly. But I had one final idea, and I'll be able to test it in the couple of days before EUIC because I'm like this is Wednesday before the EUIC. I'll be able to just play on my phone the last bit of practice, so I won't be able to record this last bit of practice. But last idea. So Gastrodon, it still makes sense, but just having some kind of like water protection against the Heatran is also good. And Ogerpon makes too much sense in my head because it outspeeds and just OHKOs Landorus Incarnate. Gastrodon OHKOs Landorus Incarnate, but underspeeds and allows for a Earth Power to hit the Heatran before I can deal with it. And then I have to protect, or I have to be behind a 7, and so on and so on. So Ogerpon makes sense. It benefits from the Chien-Pao, so it's going to be able to do great damage. That's why I have Woodhammer over Hornleech, because I have a Chien-Pao, therefore I'm going to do the most amount of damage I can. I'm going max speed because a lot of people tend to just stop at outspeeding Landorus Incarnate, so I'm just going to catch every single Ogerpon. Again, get a KOing Ogerpon before it hits Heatran with an Ivy Cudgel is important. So I'm going to just go max speed, enough to OHKO Landorus Incarnate, and then the rest in bulk. And then I don't have the Yawn anymore, and this is something that I've just been thinking for ages and never properly got around to testing. I've only done like 5 practice games with it. Is that Sylveon could be the Yawn Pokemon, because Fairy paired with Heatran is actually pretty reasonable as well. It will keep the Yawn. It keeps a still really bulky Pokemon. This actually patches some matchups that were a little bit annoying previously. This can 1v1 the Calm Mind Raging Bolt very easily because it's a fairy type, and then you match with the Calm Mind and also get extra turns because of Yawn. They can only Thunderclap you, but then they can't while you're yawning, and then Calm Minding, and then they're asleep, and then they can't. So this beats the Calm Mind Raging Bolt. It will beat the Porygon 2s that can be a bit annoying as well. If I go for Terra Steel, they're all Terra Poison for some reason. They're better Terras. But this will beat it because it will be able to Calm Mind as a Terra Steel type and then be able to 1v1 it that way. I've been debating what the item would be, but in order to be the 1v1 against those kind of things, it has to be leftovers. I've been looking at like Throat Spray and Fairy Feather and all those, but leftovers makes too much sense. But yeah, this Sylveon, because I want Ogerpon, and Gastrodon doesn't make sense with Ogerpon, this last slot has to be Sneasler for the Sylveon. But this makes too much sense in my head now. Like, I'm pretty sure this is now the team. Even though I've only practiced a little bit, I'll do a little bit on my phone in the couple of days before, but I believe this is the team. So if I don't use this, then a bit weird. But I'll do one more practice game because, like I said, I'm running short on time. So I'll just do one more practice game, and then that'll be it for this series. This ended up being like 30-something episodes, factoring in the GC, I think. So that's like a month's worth of content. So that's not too bad. And this is where everyone already has their team and doesn't need to practice anymore as well. Nope, there we go. So it's Ting-Lu Dondozo. So theoretically, I should be able to beat this. How do I do it with a new team? Like, Sylveon Heatran should be good against that. In fact, Sylveon Heatran should be good against all of this. Yeah, this should be reasonable. And then what would the last ones be? Like, Ogerpon is really good against Ting-Lu Dondozo. I'm surprised it's picking up again because Ogerpon does really well against them. Because it just woodhammers both of them. Landorus is fine, but not the greatest. They don't have Trick Room. They have Life Dew, which is busted. I'll bring Dragapult because of the extreme speed. I'll bring Ogerpon because, like I said, it's good against Ting-Lu Dondozo. So I just get to sub here very safely. However, they can Sand Tomb break my sub if they want to. They can also Taunt. And the Ting-Lu should be faster than my Sylveon. We'll see if it's faster than my Heatran. Because I got min speed to counter Trick Room, and also so that Incineroars will Parting Shot before I Yawn, so I can catch the thing on the switch in with the Yawn rather than Yawn the Incineroar and then it Parting Shots. So, let's just see what happens when I sub and Yawn. So I was faster, that's good. Ruination will break the sub, and then Wave Crash or Yawn will go off. It's just Wave Crash, but my EV's a clutch. So now I will Calm Mind and switch to Ogerpon. So I was probably taking too much damage there. I was definitely debating Protect and Yawn. That's odd. And they're Oblivious as well, so that was A weird terror, but I'll take it. I'm going to sleep here. I will hyper voice. And, oh, okay, they didn't protect. Fair enough. But this will still do good damage to the Dondozo. Like, that's good damage. And now we're a sleepy boy. I'll switch back to Heatran so I don't sleep. They're in range of Woodhammer now, though. The Sylveon's looking pretty decent. It just needs to wake up quick. Don't know why they didn't heavy slam, but that's fine. Voice again. Attempt to Magma Storm, I guess. Because I'll Woodhammer the Dondozo at some point. That's good. That's good. And that's not as good. But that's fine. So I burned a turn of sleep there, and this is Ogerpon. This is guaranteed Woodhammer into that slot, so I'll just go for... yeah, Hyper Voice covers the switches that can happen. So Dondozo is dealt with. Then almost knocked off my coffee mug. This 3-turn sleep is a bit annoying. Nice thing is they can't Terra the other Pokemon, so everything's going to be bad against Fairy now. Yeah, like that's bad against Fairy. Well, Hyper Voice and Spiky Shields, because then they were going to break their Focus Sash, but they didn't. So now that's not ideal, because yeah, now they're going to be able to KO the Ogerpon, and then they'll Sucker Punch my Dragapult. So I need to attack my Sylveon, and I need to clutch it. That's what needs to happen now. But they don't. I'll take that. It's down to Sash. And they can definitely just Sucker Punch me. Hyper Voice did not do enough to the Ting-Lu. And I'll be in range of anything. I think I have to predict them not to Sucker Punch here, even though they are going to. I mean, if I protect and Hyper Voice KO it, yeah, I'm going to predict them not to Sucker Punch. They did. Okay, fair enough. So actually, Protect and Hyper Voice would have done it, because yeah, it was Dragonite as the last one. So that was close. Yeah, that was just a do I protect on the Sucker Punch or not, because here Dragon Darts wins. Bit of a shame. Alright. So like I said, Ogerpon's actually really good against this stuff, so I will go with that. I think Ogerpon Heatran instead is better, and I'll go with this instead. Which one would they Terra here? So it can just follow me and sub. There's no real downside to that. In fact, I might Terra the Heatran and sub. No, because they can just Ruination break the sub. So then that doesn't work. So I'll just regular sub. That was very good damage. They didn't Terra either of them. That's fine. And that is also fine. Because now I can just double into this Ting-Lu pretty safely. Assumingly the Dondozo is going to protect. But I can also just Woodhammer it just in case. But I think I'd prefer just to get the extra damage into the Ting-Lu. But yes, they did protect, that's good. Connect with a non-zoom lens Magma Storm, please. Thank you kindly. That's good. Just protect to get another turn of Magma Storm, because maybe that puts it in Earth Power range. It will be close. That's a reasonable play. Okay. They don't have Stomping Tantrum, but they do have Low Kick. I think that the Terra Fairy is actually pretty decent here now, because ideally I can follow me, Terra Fairy, Magma Storm the Dragonite, and then next turn I get a Dragon Darts double KO. Right? I mean, they KO my Ogerpon regardless, so that's good. That's not as good, because that would have been guaranteed KO. I'm still going to go for it. I still Dragon Darts KO both of them here, right? Do I KO the Dragonite? I mean, I go for Dragon Darts. And I believe I can sub here. Yeah, they switched to Dondozo. That's good, because that's not a KO into Ting-Lu. Wow, that was so close. I've got max attacks, so a bit annoying. It's quite frustrating. But there's Dragonite again. How much did Dragon Darts do on the... So Dondozo will drop to that. So I can definitely still Dragon Darts here. What extremes? Have they terrored? They haven't terrored, right? So they can normal extreme speed KO me if they want. I mean, I'm just going to clutch it. Now I might KO them. Oh, that's annoying. That's really annoying, because that wouldn't have KO'd without Terra. That is quite frustrating. But they did extreme speed, so... No, I should still be fine, right? No, I'm not fine, because they're going to double the Sylveon. That's an annoying critical hit. Extreme Speed and Ice Spinner. Would I clutch that with the Sylveon? Have they terrored? Well, they did terror. Oh, they went into poison. Okay, so that's why they couldn't terror. So yeah, I was easily living that, and that was a KO Dragonite, and just game over. But now, just so I know, I am going to attack with the Sylveon, even though I expect to double. I just want to know, will I live this combination for the future? Like, it's fine to lose this game. I don't care about winning this game. Like, yeah, that drops me, doesn't it? Yeah, that was always going to happen, but now I know. But, you know, I lost that one to a crit. But I do have time for one more, because that's annoying. Both of those games were luck-based, because I missed the Magma Storm in that first game, didn't I? That would have won, and then the crit stole the game. So, you know, hope this is evidencing that I really am getting it out the way for EUIC. Like, I must be. I must be getting it out the way for EUIC. That's the only reasonable explanation by getting this unlucky, right? So, I will attempt to Sylveon Heatran against this. We will see. Ogerpon is still good. That is a Choice Specs Flutter main, so... I want Chien-Pao here. I mean, if I see Landorus, I'm probably bringing Chien-Pao. I wonder how common our Chaladon's going to be. There's immediate Landorus. That's right. Here's Terra Poison. So, should be able to trap it immediately, right? I don't think I need my Terra for anything else. Terra Poison Sludge Bomb, knowing if that KOs Sylveon or not will be very useful. Nope, just Ancient Storm, that's fine. That's a connection, that's good. This is a very easy double protect. They can switch out the Tornadus, that'd be fine, but this still works out perfectly fine as well. There is. So it's the Fluttermane, that's fine. Because they can't KO either Pokemon here. Surely not. But I can't trap them. However, I can definitely just put them in range of Sucker Punch. That's really all I need to do with the Fluttermane. As long as it's in Sucker Punch range while also being a fairy, then I'm sorted. Moonblast will probably KO the Heatran, it'll be close. If they do Terra Fairy, it will, like so. And we'll never know if that KOs the Sylveon. So now... It's not as ideal, is it? Well, it kind of has to be Ogerpon. And I need them to stay asleep again. It's only been one turn. But again, like, the crit, I don't think KOs Sylveon, because it's got amazing special bulk. It'll be close. But hopefully you can see that this is getting super unreasonable. And they wake up as well. Like, come on. Give me something. At least I can Sucker Punch KO it. And theoretically in the rain, with Sword of Ruin, Ivy Cudgel will KO the Tornadus as well, and then maybe I can 2v1. They should protect the Landorus here. Like, Protect and Tailwind is definitely the correct play, and they didn't go for the correct play. Because this KOs, right? We'll never know. I'm still cursed. And the rain's gone as well. It's Rillaboom as the last one. Okay. Will Miracle Seed get my Chien-Pao? The correct play is to follow me regardless, isn't it? And they did fake out, so it wasn't the correct play, but this is still fine, because I can still follow me and Ice Spinner. And then they're in Sucker Punch range, and they can't priority me anymore. So this is still fine. There's a Grass Glide. Not quite a KO, but good enough for Sucker Punch. And if they protect or fake out to stall out the Sucker Punch, I'm now faster, I Ice Spinner instead. That works out well. Ice Spinner is superior to Icicle Crash. So I think I can switch up to Ogerpon here. Ogerpon and Chien-Pao seems reasonable, because then Heatran will probably win in the back with... I'm intending to Terra the Ogerpon, so I don't really want to go with Dragapult. But I'm going with Dragapult because I want to use it. So this is much better. I can assumedly just go for this. Nothing wrong with that. So if I KO the Landorus, then I just immediately win with the Heatran, right? If they bring the same Pokemon. I mean, they lock into Shadow Ball, but they're not Moonblasting. That's fine. They'll live, but then they're in Sucker Punch range now. Or they don't live, because Sword of Ruin is busted. That's pretty decent. And they've already Terra'd as well, so they can't Terra Fairy. Spiky Shield Heatran. Then now I just need to focus fire on the Tornadus, because then they brought the same Pokemon. Heatran wins. Unless they Shadow Ball this turn, which would be a mad play. Yeah, it's just Dazzling Gleam, that's fine. I was going to say I just need to KO the Tornadus, but this is perfectly fine as well. Woodhammer's better, isn't it? No, Ivy Cudgel KOs a Fluttermane. It's fine. The Magma Storm here. Yeah, they KO that, but that's fine. Because that should KO that. It does. And then I can Sucker Punch Pin. So I don't even need the Dragapult at this point. So I'll Sucker Punch here and also Magma Storm here. Because then I'll be able to Phantom Force KO this Fluttermane whenever I want. because the Tornadus is the thing that just needs to disappear. Just Rain Dance with Sucker Punch, that's fine. And they do lock into Shadow Ball, which means that, of course, you know, getting one last one out the way for EUIC. Just one last one out the way, please. That's fine. Sucker Punch KOs, Dragapult wins. Because they didn't Tailwind. So, I'll Sucker Punch again and Magma Storm, and game is over. I mean, I don't even need Sucker Punch there, blocked in Shadow Ball. Cool. That one's going to end it. So, I do hope you've enjoyed the series. Like, it's been a reasonable chunk, like over a month's worth of content, which is quite nice. And if we're at this point, it's been a month since I became the international champion. Hopefully, if this worked out, we'll see.